Luke, we've come off a loss at the weekend, but we're feeling more positive. I know you're always talking about staying positive and being in a good mood. I just want to know, is there still any aims for the rest of the season?
There's always aims. Um, there's aims to try and keep as many as this group together with offering deals. There's aims to be the best defensive record in the division. There's aims to have the best points return since we went to Wembley after gathering 75 points that year. I've done some stats, which I speak about in my program notes for Wrexham, obviously, because it's a bank holiday. I had to write them early. But for me, this would be our third most points return. If we go and get 3 wins, we better our second points return, which would have been the curtailed season when we played Halifax and Harrogate in the playoffs. So there's a lot of positives still to be spoken about. There's a lot of aims to be targeted. And yeah, listen, we've got a group here that we've got majority signed. Don't get me wrong. We got Femi, Connor Stevens, Josh Reese that are currently injured that would play a massive part this year and going forward. But we've still got Ashmore signed, the majority of the back unit signed. So we need to ensure that them aims in terms of being the best defence in the division maintained for the remainder of this season with regards to the 5 games.
And although it is still mathematically possible for the playoffs, it is looking rather unlikely. Do you think that will help the team and allow them to play with a bit more freedom?
They were playing with freedom before. I don't think that was being restrictive or restricted because I always used to say to them, there's no pressure being at the top end of the table. The pressure is the likes of our first year in the division when we're having to win 3 games on a bounce. That's pressure. Obviously, Weymouth got relegated on Tuesday evening after their 6-1 loss to Wrexham. That's pressure. Kingsley and Aldershot will still be feeling pressure. In terms of freedom, we try and take the shackles off of everyone when they're playing. We're trying to be a little bit more free-flowing. The fact that, like you say, mathematically still on the cards, but realistically the playoffs have gone, that shouldn't be a pressure. We're playing, in my opinion, the 2 best teams in the division on Saturday and Monday. I said, go and test yourselves against, in my opinion, again, probably one of the 2 best managers in the division. So I'm excited. The fact that we've got Stockport on Monday playing them live on the on Saturday playing them live on the box, and then Wrexham on Monday. I want to pit my wits against the best in the division. I enjoy doing reports and setting up teams to go and beat the best in the division. And we have a say over the weekend in the title race. And we're going to go out in the next 5 games to go and win every single game. So yeah, there's no pressure in terms of prior to getting into the playoffs. And there's certainly the pressure's not off to go and win games of football. So I think they play with a freedom. I genuinely do. The boys should go and play with pride over this weekend to go and put a dent in Stockport and Wrexham seasons.
And you've just mentioned both their seasons there. What can we expect from both of those, with Wrexham breathing down on Stockport's necks and Wrexham giving it to try and get up to Stockport?
So again, I've done some stats. In any other season, Wrexham's points return would have them as winners. They're currently over 2 points per game. The fact that their local rivals in Stockport have gone and absolutely romped the last 17, 18 games is incredible. Our Wembley year is one for you. Our Wembley year, finishing 4th with 75 points, wouldn't have us in the top 7 this season. That tells you the calibre of the teams, the calibre of this division, the calibre of managers that are coming down to manage at this level, being Cook at Chesterfield, being Parkinson at Wrexham. Stockport have taken Challoner from Hartlepool after obviously wanting all his career after Colin Bay, Fylde, to then go to Hartlepool, dragging him back to the National League, tells you the level that we're playing in. So I've watched Stockport at length. They're the best team in it. They've got the best manager in it. No, I'm not just saying it because I adore Challoner. I love Chally. I think he's unbelievable as an individual, a person. But to go and do what he's done with Stockport is immense. And you look at their Lancashire FA team on Tuesday night, when you've got Alex Reid, Ben Whitfield, Elliot Newby, Keane, Connor Jennings, these are all lads, Zane Angol, these are all lads, other than Connor Jennings, they're not getting in squads. They're sitting in the stand every week. And that's no disrespect to them as individuals. Please don't take that the wrong way. It just shows you Doofus also played that hasn't been in a squad. They got 7 lads that are playing in the Lancashire Cup that don't make their 16 on a weekly basis. But then he'll turn around and say, yeah, but we're going to be in EFL next year. And I honestly believe they will. I think he's done fantastic. He's galvanised Stockport. Look at the fans that turn up there. They've got the best manager in the division by a country mile. I think they've got the best team in the division by a country mile. And that's not disrespecting Phil Parkinson and Wrexham, because my Lord, they're unbelievable as well. But we go there with nothing to lose, everything to gain. It's going to be a bumper crowd, live on the box. We have a style that we're going to try and adopt on Saturday night to go and get a result. They've lost 2 in their last 5. They've had 2 sendings off in their last 3. So I'm not saying that there's pressure there, but when you're getting sendings off at this late stage, there's eagerness to go and want to get over the finish line. So we're going to play on that. We have to. We're going to have to do everything we can in our power to go and get a win, because we want 3 points come 7:05 tomorrow evening.
So you just mentioned there about the 10 men. Have you looked in any of the analyst sessions at trying to play against 10 men and how you play with 11 and against 10?
You do, to an extent. You probably do them in your sessions anyway. You do overloads in your sessions when you're playing against attack feed defense, because you're trying to emphasize attacking play, trying to give a bit of confidence to the opposition, being the team that attacking the goal. So I think you do that anyway in your sessions. We haven't really honed in on a 11v10 scenario regularly. We have touched on it. I don't think it's as easy as you're gaining an advantage by having an extra man. I think you, as a group, depends on the score as well. So if you're leading at that time and they go down to 10 men, of course it has more of an advantage. But if they're leading as an opposition, they're 1 or 2-0 to the good, and it goes down to 10 men, I think it unites you. I've been in the team where I've been on the 10. I've been in the team when I've been on the advantage having the 11. But yeah, no, we haven't worked on it. I have touched on it with the group just because I feel that it needs to be spoken about in terms of them going down to 10 men. Sarkovic at Grimsby, Collar against the Oval. That was a bit of a spiky game the other game against the Oval Stockport. So yeah, and Yeovil, I think, were very good on the day. Stockport have got personnel across the ranks that can cause you problems. I love the fact that they sprint back from corners 4. It goes for a goal kick, and you got Palmer, you got Hogan, you got Johnson that sprint back to their start positions. I love the fact they suffocate you around the park. I think he's got them playing unbelievably. And the contrast between Rusk, and again, no disrespect to Rusk, and with a Dave Challoner side, it needed that impetus to go and get them kicking on this season. And you see that in their results. And I hope, I'm no disrespect to Wrexham, that I think after going on that run, they deserve to pick up the trophy. But Wrexham take it within a point before we kick off on Saturday night if they go and do their business prior. So again, there's even more pressure in that Stockport dressing room. And no disrespect to Stockport, Wrexham, Chesterfield, Notts County, Weymouth, Kings Lynn, we're out for Boreham Wood. We're out to go and get 3 points every week, and that'll be our aim for the remainder of the season.